Start your daylight. Start it right. Start it with Breakfast with Bread. Breakfast with Bread. A bite of motivations and words of encouragement to jumpstart your day. Breakfast with Bread.
Good morning. Welcome to another edition of Breakfast with Bread, right here on the online Christian radio show. This is Name Above All Names. And good morning, everybody. My name is Brother Bread. And today's message is entitled Laying Down Your Wings. And we'll be reading from Isaiah chapter 40, verse 31. I'll be reading from the King James Version, okay? But they that wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings as eagles. They shall run and not be weary, and they shall walk and not faint. Ever since I heard this verse, I heard this as early as 1994. That's the first time I heard it in a youth camp. And until now, every time you hear this verse, it's mostly, focused on you waiting upon the Lord, right? Every time you hear this verse, you wait upon the Lord. God will renew your strength. Just wait upon Him. You shall mount up on wings like eagles, run and not grow weary, walk and not faint. Most often, whenever this verse is shared in the churches, that's the focus. That's the point of view. It's you waiting upon the Lord. Okay? Today we're gonna make a different take on that verse. It's Isaiah 40:31. Fast forward into the future. That's the reason why the title of this message is entitled Laying Down Your Wings. Okay? It's Isaiah chapter 40:31. Fast forward into the future. That means the waiting is over for you. The waiting and filling down is over for you. This time you are soaring. You're flying. You're running. You're walking the path God has for you. You're at the top of your career. The waiting is over. The waiting is over. Isaiah 40:31. Fast forward into the future. And that's you right now. I know in some point of your life, in some point of our lives, we've been there. We've been waiting upon the Lord. We've been longing for the Lord to come. We've been longing for the Lord to come and answer our prayers, waiting for the answer, looking for the answer, searching for the answer, waiting for that breakthrough. I know at some point in time, we've been there. We've been waiting upon the Lord. And this time, the waiting is over. You've had your breakthrough. You've had your opening. You've had that break. You're now soaring. That's you this time. Isaiah 40:31. Fast forward into the future. And the first time I heard this message over at the SOAR conference by T.D. Jakes, that was sometime in November, I think. I tried to order a book actually of SOAR. Never made it here in France. I don't know why. It probably got lost. That was like November going into Christmas season. My book got lost. But anyway, the first time I heard this principle of Isaiah 40:31, fast forward into the future. You fast forward into the future. The waiting is over for you. That was in the SOAR conference, and it was beautiful. This time you're now soaring. This time you lay down your wings so that somebody who's been waiting upon the Lord could climb aboard, mount on wings like eagles. Your wings. your wings. Okay, it's like you being a mentor to somebody. Okay, you giving your time and effort to somebody who's been waiting upon the Lord. You giving not only your time and effort, but your resources. You putting your name on the line for that person who's been waiting upon the Lord. That's what we're going to be talking about today. The first time I heard it was, I didn't quite get it. You know. Now, okay, yeah, okay, you're at the top of your career. You're walking the path that God has for you. You're now soaring on wings like eagles, and the waiting part is done for you. It's one thing to know that consciously, and have that desire to one day help somebody who's in need, and you know, have that desire to come across somebody that who's been waiting upon the Lord, and yeah, you're gonna be willing to lay down your wings for that person. It's one thing to have that desire, and another thing to actually hear about it, to actually see it, watch it over a film based on that story, and see the results happening now. Those are two different worlds. Those are two different stories, okay? And yeah, today we'll be talking about a song entitled I Can Only Imagine by Bart Millard. There was a time that Bart Millard, he was the one who wrote the song. The band is Mercy Me. It's one of the songs that we feature on our library here at Cloud 81.7. Okay, and unfortunately, due to Facebook restrictions and YouTube restrictions, you won't be hearing the song. You can hear it live when we go live on the air, okay? But right now, you can just search it over YouTube, okay? The song is I Can Only Imagine, Mercy Me, written by Bart Millard. But again, we're going off track for a little. That song, there was a time that nobody knew that song. There was a time that nobody knew that band, Mercy Me. There was a time where Bart Millard was struggling for acceptance, waiting for that break, waiting upon the Lord, waiting for his ship to come in. And it was like a very long process for him, life-changing process for him. And he was facing one rejection after the other. There was one time he was rejected by half of Nashville, that telling him that he wasn't ready yet. It's like one rejection after the other. Okay, Bart Millard. The first rejection actually came not from fans. Okay, it didn't came from a fan. It didn't came from a recording industry. It didn't came from just anybody. The first rejection came from his dad telling him he is not good enough. And he feels that he was rejected also by his mom, because his mom left him at an early age. Left his dad, left him, his mom just went off. Okay, so he felt rejected. One rejection after the other. And here he is now with a band, a nobody band at that time, waiting for that break, waiting upon the Lord. And he comes up with this song, I Can Only Imagine. And he was willing to give that song to no one else but Amy Grant. Because Amy Grant, well, she had the resources. And at that time, Bart Millard wasn't well known. And he wanted his song to be heard by everybody. He wanted this song to be heard by, as much as possible, the whole world. He can't do that, as he admitted. Amy Grant can. So he's willing to give this song to Amy Grant. Okay? And Amy Grant was willing to take that song as her comeback song. And she would later testify on stage that she came across this song at a point where she was reeling from a loss. Okay? She was feeling down, she was feeling low. She came across this song and just gave her encouragement, held on to that song, gave her hope. I'm sure all of us could relate to that moment. Like you're feeling so down, you're feeling so low, okay? And you come across a song and you hold on to that song. You know how songs change your lives? You know how songs could affect somebody's life? And that's it. You have that one song that you just hold on to in times of distress, in times of discouragement. It gives you mooring, it gives you an anchor, and it just gives you hope, right? And that's exactly what happened to Amy Grant. And she goes on to testify that she's gonna. This song was a song that meant a lot to her, and it was written by Bart Millard. And this time she was about to sing the song, okay, as her comeback song. Okay, now in front of a lot of people, a big auditorium filled with a lot of people. She was about to sing the song. All of a sudden, she hesitates and calls Bart Millard to the stage and sing the song. And she goes on to say, "This song is not my song. This story is not my story. It's your story. This moment is not my moment. It's your moment. I want you to take it." Wow. Imagine being staged by no one else but Amy Grant in front of a big audience. Amy Grant laying down her wings so that this person, Bart Millard, who's been waiting upon the Lord, waiting for his break, waiting for his chance, could climb aboard, mount on eagle's wings, and soar. He goes on to sing the song, "I Can Only Imagine." And that started rocketing the career for Mercy Me. As Amy Grant says, this is a career song. This is a career maker. Are you sure this is what you want to do? Are you sure you want to give this song to me? And at the last minute, she returns the song to Bart Millard in front of the multitude. And history followed next. To date, the song "I Can Only Imagine" is a 3-time platinum awardee. It could have been Amy Grant, but no, she gave that, returned it to Bart Millard. That's exactly what laying down your wings is all about. Public validation, okay? Public validation. And even Jesus Christ, he needed public validation. Remember the time when he was about to be baptized in the Jordan River? Okay? Walang ibang nag-validate kay Jesus. No one else did that but heaven itself. The heavens opened up, and behold, a voice from heaven came down saying, "This is my Son, my beloved Son, in whom I am well pleased." And then the Holy Spirit descended on Jesus Christ. Public validation by no one else but God the Father himself. Wow. You get validated by heaven. Wow, that's Jesus Christ. Even he needed public validation. Okay? Once in a while, ang sarap ng feeling, no? When we say public validation, it's like yung in layman's term, like my friend Cecilia here in Sister Cecilia Andres, no? Her favorite term is like a binibida. Okay, binibida. Okay, ang sarap ng feeling, yung binibida ka sa ibang tao. You're binibida ka, you're being built up in front of people. That's public validation. Binibida ka. Okay, that's exactly what it is. And I remember also during the early months of Name Above All Names, I remember uh, Reverend Andy Ibanez, okay, who actually grabbed that message from Name Above All Names and shared it on his wall, and goes on to enumerate who I was, who I am, okay, what I've been through. Okay, goes on to enumerate that this is Emil Ponce. He's one of our students. He's one of our products from the mission. Blah 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 blah. Public validation from no one else but, well, uh, spiritually speaking, he's like my spiritual grandfather already. Okay, my spiritual tatay, spiritual father, and since he's the one who ministered and developed the pastors who reached out to me, he's like spiritual lolo. Okay, okay, Reverend Andy Ibanez. Public validation. You get validated by no one else but, well, in our circle back in Baguio, Reverend Andy Ibanez is known as, well, as Pastor Bonnie puts it, a living legend. He's a pastor maker. This guy. And you get validated publicly by Reverend Andy Ibanez. And wow, that for me, that felt so good. That you get validated by no one else but, well, basically, he's like my dad, spiritual dad, or spiritual lolo. Okay? Yeah. And with that's exactly what Amy Grant did. Public validation. Validated Bart Millard and gave the song back to Bart Millard. On the secular scenario, I can't think of a better example. The closest example I could think of would be Celine Dion. Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, Celine Dion. That time when she called Charisse on stage and let Charisse belt out these high notes. Yeah, that's the closest example I could do. Like public validation by no one else but somebody you look up to, right? That's what exactly what our verse for today, our title for today means. Laying down your wings, so that whoever that person is, waiting upon the Lord, the waiting part for you is over. Okay? The waiting part for you is done. You've been there, you've done that. You've had your share of discouragement. You've had your share of low moments. Now you're flying. Now you're soaring at the top of your career. Is there a person around you that God is leading you to lay down your wings and help this person out, to climb aboard and let this person soar? Let this person run. Let this person walk in the plan that God has for him or her. Again, with public validation, when you do that, you're willing not only to spend your resources for that person, not only are you willing to help out, spend your time for that person, but you're also putting your name on the line for that person. Just exactly what Amy Grant did, putting the line, her name on the line for Bart Millard. Reverend Andy Ibanez putting his name on the line for me, that hey, this is Emil Ponce, he's our product. Celine Dion putting her name on the line for Charisse. Okay? Are you willing to do that for somebody? Isaiah 40:31 for you today is fast forward into the future. You're now at the top of your career. Is there somebody God is leading you to lay down your wings and help that person out? They that wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount up on wings as eagles. They shall run and not be weary. They shall walk and not faint. Today's message, friends, be that pair of wings for that somebody who's waiting upon the Lord, so that somebody could mount up on wings as eagles and soar.
You just heard Breakfast with Bread on the online Christian radio show, Name Above All Names.
Thank you very much, friends. That's it for today's message in Name Above All Names. My name is Michael Cross, broadcasting from Paris, France, on Cloud 81.7, the rhythm of the gospel.